Cities Skylines II has had a bit of a busy week. We've had some console news, we've got some new info about creator packs, and a new update. And I'm going to be breaking down all that in today's video. To start with, I want to talk about the region packs. So I've previously mentioned in a previous video that we've had several of the creator packs that are going to be released gradually over the next few weeks. We've already had the French and the German pack. This week was the time for the UK pack, and that is all on Paradox mods. And in reference to that UK pack, it's sort of weird to see the UK done well in a video game, as it's not really a location that's been done very often, so it really does put a smile on my face when I've seen all the assets, because they are very, very good. It's very UK, it's very good. It's like home. Me driving around, walking around, whatever it is, it definitely feels UK, which is fantastic. They've also mentioned about the urban promenades and modern architecture and the soft rock radio. These will be available soon. They've not supplied any details yet. They've also said that the 3 additional creator packs and the radio stations that will be included in the Ultimate Edition are in the pipeline. Now, these won't be ready for Q4 release, but they are in the last implementation stages and we're ready for release early next year. And that's all really about the region packs. Console players, I have an update for you. So they're not giving a release date, but currently they're both experiencing simulation issues both on the processor and the graphics, which have become noticeable when players take certain actions that cause frame rate drops or memory overload. These issues are particularly challenging due to the hardware limitations of consoles. For instance, when placing larger buildings that involve numerous entities, the system struggles to handle the data load. So during the calculation process, for example, checking if there's enough space or if any entities overlap with existing assets, performance bottlenecks arise, resulting in these noticeable issues. And they've managed to get the game to a stable and playable state by significantly lowering the graphics quality. However, that is to the level where it becomes a compromise that they're not willing to make. So once they get it to an acceptable level, further optimizations are needed for both simulation and memory usage before they're ready to share the console version. And until they're all resolved, there's going to be no release date announced to avoid it being premature and potentially misleading. And that's your small console update. Now let's move on to the patch notes for the latest update. So first of all, the modders in the Early Access program are already reviewing the mod compatibility with this version, so you may need to wait until they're updated. To start with, known issues, there's only one this time. Hotels may complain about not enough customers despite having all rooms occupied due to slow consumption of the lodging resource. For gameplay fixes and improvements, they've optimized citizens' job-seeking calculations. They've adjusted garbage accumulation values lower for some buildings, so the post-sorting facility, the coal power plant, the emergency battery station, the gas power plant, the geothermal power plant, the nuclear power plant, the solar power plant, the emergency shelter, large emergency shelter, health research institute, international airport, space center, advanced water pumping station, and the wastewater treatment plants. They've increased the student amounts of college and university buildings. They've added the university interest effect to the radio telescope research city service building. They fixed a few crashes, so a crash to desktop when bulldozing a zonable street with a missing prefab, another crash to desktop when splitting road segments with missing prefab, an issue where citizens can go shopping in office zone buildings, a no pedestrian access error despite overground parking building being connected to the sidewalk. Then we're moving on to UI fixes and improvements. So they've improved post-facility buildings info view color to be more distinguished from the mail accumulation color. They've swapped the action for focus and unfollow citizen in life path panel to make it harder to accidentally unfollow a citizen. They've added the ability to load a selected map with a double click. They've added topography section to tool modes and moved contour lines to it. They fixed an issue where the load game screen would get stuck in 3 save slots mode if the player had downloaded exactly 4 custom saves or maps from Paradox mods. They fixed overflowing when tool mode's label was too large, causing several modes to disappear. They fixed a demand bar showing inaccurate width compared to demand percentage. They fixed the cinematic camera save load panel, which could render out of bounds when UI scaling was enabled. They fixed the signature building info view not showing marker icons and colorizing wrong building types. They've done some fixes to healthcare info view road color. They've done some fixes to controller hints and controller actions. They fixed the toggling the info view menu with L3 and Y or mouse clicking the info view button should also close any info view that was active. Minor optimizations to tooltip performance, several audio fixes, and many fixes for input actions. Finally, modding changes. They've added safety measures so maps revert to default climate when a custom climate is missing. They fixed the FPS drop and visual issues on affected shared maps. They fixed custom climate not being shared with custom maps, and they've also fixed starting tile selection in the editor not responding to anything. And that is it. That is your City Skylines 2 update from what they've shared this week. What are your thoughts on all this? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, found it helpful and informative, and like to see more content like this one, make sure you are subscribed. And if you want to keep yourself up to date on the latest simulation and racing news and updates, then you can stick around, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.